You are standing on a busy street, someone collapses 20 feet ahead of you, and you freeze. Not because you are cruel, not because you do not care. You freeze because your brain is running an ancient program, and so does everyone else around you. The crowd does nothing. The person stays on the ground. This is not a flaw in your character. It is a feature of your psychology. And the real answer for why it happens is far stranger than anything you have been told. In 1964, a young woman named Kitty Genovese was attacked outside her New York apartment. She screamed for half an hour. Dozens of neighbors heard something. Almost none of them acted. Newspapers blamed moral decay. Psychologists John Darley and Bibb Latane believed something else entirely. They believed these were ordinary people caught inside an invisible psychological trap. So they built experiments to find out exactly what it looked like from the inside. In one study, a lone participant saw smoke drifting under a door. Almost every time they reported it immediately. Then Darley and Latane added 2 actors to the room, instructed to stay completely calm. Now the real participant hesitated. They looked at the others. The others looked unbothered. So the participant waited. Many never reported the smoke at all. Darley and Latane called this diffusion of responsibility. When others are present, your brain automatically redistributes the weight of action. In a crowd of 10, your felt share of responsibility shrinks to 1/10. The math happens without your awareness. The urgency quietly dissolves. But there is a second layer. Psychologists call it pluralistic ignorance. Your brain constantly scans the faces around you for clues about how to read a situation. When everyone looks calm, your nervous system concludes nothing is wrong. You are not choosing to ignore the emergency. You are deciding it is not an emergency at all. And here is the trap. Everyone in the crowd is doing the same thing. Everyone is reading everyone else's calm as data. The group reaches a collective conclusion that nobody individually holds. Nobody is ignoring the crisis. Nobody even perceives it as one anymore. You have done this version of it before. You sat in a meeting, confused, but said nothing because nobody else was asking questions. You stayed quiet because the room looked certain. That is pluralistic ignorance running in a low-stakes environment. On the street, the stakes are not low. Researcher Stanley Milgram spent decades studying how profoundly social context shapes individual behavior. What he and Darley and Latane all confirmed from different angles was the same uncomfortable truth. You do not experience yourself as influenced by the crowd. You experience yourself as responding to the situation. But the crowd has already shaped what the situation looks like to you. This wiring is ancient. 1,000 generations ago, if the group was calm, the predator was probably not close. Reading the crowd was survival. Diffusing responsibility kept individuals from overreacting to false alarms. The software was correct for its environment. The environment has changed. The software has not. So what breaks it? The single most effective disruption is direct address. Not a scream into the crowd, not a general cry for help. You point at one specific person and say, "You in the blue jacket, call an ambulance." That person's diffused responsibility snaps back into focus. The anonymity is broken. The math changes. They almost always act. This has been replicated across decades of research. The effect collapses when ambiguity collapses. When one person is clearly designated, when the social cover of pluralistic ignorance is removed, people do not just act, they act fast. Knowing this changes you. Studies show that people who understand the bystander effect are meaningfully more likely to intervene in emergencies. Awareness does not eliminate the pull, but it creates a delay. And in that delay, the rational mind gets a chance. If you are ever the one who needs help, do not call to the crowd. Pick a face, make eye contact, say the words, "You with the phone, help me now." You have just broken the anonymity. You have handed the weight to one pair of shoulders. That person will move. The crowd was never cruel. The crowd was running a calculation so fast you cannot feel it happen, distributing responsibility so evenly that no one carries any. And the next time you're standing on a busy street and someone collapses 20 feet ahead of you, you will feel the pull to freeze. Now you will know exactly what it is. And you will also know how to break it.